I want to talk about deliverance, and not just like the process of it, but what to do after deliverance. When you have gone through deliverance, whether it's self-deliverance or you've gone through a deliverance like prayer session with people praying over you and evil spirits were pulled out of you, the most important thing that you have to remember is you need to stay delivered. So what does that mean, to stay delivered? So that means that you don't just go and get delivered and you don't get these, evil spirits cut off of your bloodline and pulled out of you, and that's it. Then you go back on to live your regular life. Or you go back to the sins that that you just repented for. If you do that, you're going to be worse off than you were before. There's the story in the Bible where a man was delivered of his evil spirit. An evil spirit left him. Evil spirit walked around to go look for someone else to possess. Another home, another house, a host. That's what we are. It's a body. We're a house for these spirits. And couldn't find anybody. Probably because everybody was, strong and aligned with God, so the doors were closed. So he decided, let me go back and check my old home and let me see what it's like. So the spirit went back to go check on this man. And he found 3 things. That it was clean, it was swept, but it was empty. It was clean because he probably cleaned up his life. Stopped smoking, stopped drinking, stopped sleeping around, stopped watching porn, stopped cheating, right? So that was clean. It was swept. He got rid of the bad influence in his life, the music, the drugs, the alcohol, the women. But it said he was empty. He did not stay delivered. He did not fill himself with the Holy Spirit. So when the Spirit saw that, he left and he went and got 7 more spirits worse than him. The thing about evil spirits, they don't like to possess the same host. They're very selfish. They want to control because they are dying to have a body. But he was willing to possess this one man with 7 other spirits worse than him because he knew that he couldn't get to this man by himself. That's why you have people who call themselves as, oh, I'm a they, I'm a we, I am a them. Why do you think that is? Because yes, they have multiple spirits in them. Remember the man who lived among the tombs? Jesus and his disciples were just walking past it. He was living there. He cuts himself, speaks to himself. He was crazy. Nobody messed with him because he lived among the dead. He recognized Jesus. He came up to Jesus, said, hey, I know you. You're Jesus. So then Jesus goes, well, what's your name? He said, Legion, for we are many. How a lot of people become possessed with a lot of spirits. It first starts for most people in their childhood through sexual abuse, molestation, and also through physical abuse, severe punishment from their parents. Then the evil spirits that's already in the bloodline, that's already in them. But then through the abuse, the sexual abuse, the spirits that was in that person has now been inflicted onto that child. So then they don't know about this, right? So they just grow up thinking this is just who they are. They are promiscuous, they're rebellious, they're depressed, suicidal, anxiety. Those that I just listed are all individual spirits. That's why you've got people today, I identify as a they, a them, a we. And it's because it's true. They do have multiple spirits in them, multiple personalities, schizophrenia. Those are all individual spirits that has possessed this person. When that guy said, my name is Legion, for we are many, Legion is at least 2,000 people or 2,000 spirits. Jesus said the same thing at Garden of Gethsemane when the bad guys came to arrest him. And Jesus was so gangster. He is like the most gangster of all the gangsters. Like, he did not care. He was like, okay, you guys have seen me during the day all over town, and y'all didn't say nothing to me. And then he said, you have been in the temple with me while I preached all day, and y'all didn't say nothing to me. But you want to come to me now in the dark? Wow. He's like, don't you know what I can do? That with the snap of a finger, I could have legions, with the S, legions, show up and fight for me. Like, yeah, Jesus could call millions, billions of angels with the snap of a finger, and they will show up. Anyways, back to the story. So this evil spirit goes and grabs 7 worse than him, because he knew that it would take more powerful spirits to repossess this man, because he's still clean and he's still swept, but he's empty. So he's delivered, but he's not really doing what he's supposed to do with inviting the Holy Spirit in and letting the Spirit stay. So he started to kind of slack off. Same thing with people who have restored marriages. Don't think that just because you came back together, like that's like you're going to be fine and dandy forever. No, it is constant work for the rest of your life. They go back and they repossess this man. And it says that he was worse in the second state than he was with the first state. So if you do not keep yourself full of the Holy Spirit, and you're not doing things you're supposed to do to keep the Spirit close, and you are being lazy, and you start kind of dabbling in your old ways, I'm telling you, you're going to become worse now than you were before. Because those evil spirits that have been delivered and casted out of you, they're gone. But what's coming back is going to be worse than those. If you have a spouse that is struggling, you need to constantly, all day, cover them in prayers. And I'm not like saying 9 hours of prayers, right? But carry that prayer in your heart while you're driving, while you're working, while you're brushing your teeth. Just talk in your mind. God hears you. God knows your thoughts. Hey, God, watch over my husband. Hey, God, watch over my wife. Let them be able to count to you today. Let somebody speak about you to them. Let them see a billboard, a text message, a song, something that reminds them of who you are. Let them feel your Spirit. Fill them with the Holy Spirit. Remember, every morning you need to be asking God to place the full armor of God over you, your spouse, your children, all those that you love. Every morning, every 24 hours, you need to be praying that. If you are not covered with the full armor of God, if you are not living your life aligned with God, and you think that just because you got delivered that you are safe, I'm telling you, that's not how it works. You have to understand that the devil never rests. The devil never rests. So he is constantly looking for ways in to tempt you, to repossess you, and to have you lose your absolute mind. There are some people that I know that you can think of right now that you know that have lost their mind, and it's because of the oppression of the evil demonic spirits. So stay prayed up, you guys. You can never ever pray too much, and live your life so that God's Spirit is always with you, because the devil, like I said, is always ready to pounce on you. Until next time, God bless.